Like outside? Okay, let's go.
I have no idea, but there's 20,000 people. Sandy, next Friday. Next Friday.
Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If you could all stand and join me in pledge. Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hernandez. Mrs. Gaddy is absent tonight. Kraus.
Here.
Mr. LaFever. Mr. Masiello. Here. Mrs. Romano. Here. Mrs. Zuckerby. Board member reports.
Yes, Mrs. Romano, I have a couple of items. As I say, when I put together this board member report, if I really was going to write down everything happening in the district, this would be like a 2-hour report. So we just pick and choose a couple of items. There's a lot of positive happening. A big thank you to Mrs. Levire's class and the many volunteers, all the community that supported the annual Family Sports Day held this past Saturday at North Rockland High School. Once again, it was a successful event, and most importantly, the event's proceeds benefited several worthy causes. Congratulations to the North Rockland High School Ruth Goldberg Club for earning second place in the Think Engineering competition hosted in White Plains. Congratulations, also science related, congratulations to the North Rockland's ROTC STEM team winning second place at Central Connecticut State University for building an underwater robot. No, that group has only existed the last 2 years and they're already earning recognition. Well done. This upcoming Thursday, April 19th, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., a blood drive will be held at North Rockland High School Annex. We know the importance of donating blood. A lot of people are not encouraged to give, but when you see a loved one or yourself needing it, it's an absolute blessing, and thank you to all those that donate. This upcoming Thursday, April 19th, 6 to 8 p.m., Stony Point Elementary School versus Farley Elementary School staff volleyball game at Fieldstone Middle School. Adult tickets are $5, students are $1, and Las Vegas is taking bets with us. We'll see who wins. On Sunday, May 6th at 10 a.m., North Rockland High School will host its second annual Family Mud Run. This event is geared towards families and first-time mud run participants. Visit the North Rockland High School website for complete details and to register online. I know, Mr. Masiello, you participated in last year. You're here to survive. You had a good time, correct?
Having working out this year, though.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, it was a nice event. This upcoming Friday, this is for the students, April 20th is Superintendent's Conference Day, no student attendance. And just so you know, we have, all our schools have a website. It's sort of central, the district. If you go to the district homepage and you go on to board docs, there you can see all the budget presentations we have. You could also see tonight's agenda is on there. So if you don't have an agenda, and you could just see the agenda beforehand, before coming to a meeting, what's going to be discussed. We also have Facebook and Twitter, so we have different sources of sharing information. That's all I have, Mrs. Romano.
Thank you. Any other reports?
Yes, Mrs. Romano, I have a report, a little long, but very important.
I'm sorry, Mr. Manciello, just one thing I forgot. If anyone here wants to speak during the public session, sign in by Mr. Baird at the end. There's a sign-in sheet, so during the public commentary, that'll be your opportunity to speak. So you're welcome, if you're looking to speak or something you want to comment on, you're welcome to over by Mr. Baird.
So I wrote this in, not an essay form, but in bullet form. I think if they had bullet form when I was in school, I may have made the top 5%. But in any way, this is some facts and things about the committee that we have here. Mr. Fernandez and myself presided on one of our safety committee meetings, March 19th, with the district. We wanted to share some of our policy and discussions and some of the costs that give us a high level of confidence in preparedness in the event of school violence. We do want you to know that the district effort to reduce risk is not foolproof. Nothing is foolproof. However, we continue to revise and update our policies and make sure that our security plan is also approved by New York State. The committee meets regularly in each building for discussion on what is needed at each grade level and develops a building level emergency response plan. The district-wide also meets to develop the district-level emergency response plan. We conduct safety drills, educate students and staff containing different scenarios and active shooter simulations with the PD for staff only during staff development. In sudden emergency, cameras can be streamed to the local police. We have that capability now, so that the IC or incident commander can have a direct perspective of what's going on as soon as possible. We're discussing sharing proposal for retired officers in schools. The district worked closely on security in schools. We have a discussion and clear guidelines for staff reporting incidents as well as mental health availability. Of course, we also rely on parents to share tips with the police department. If you see something, of course, you say something, actively monitor your children's social media. The district will look into any anonymous tip line as well. During the 2016-2017 school year, we spent $1.2 million on security, which included 21 security guards, monitors, teachers, security during sports events, chaperones, and a private security service that checks our school off hours around the clock. The $1.2 million does not include custodial checks, security cameras, and alarms. More recently, the district has met with our respective police chiefs and town supervisors of both Haverstraw and Stony Point about the SROs in our schools. The cost, some towns cover the full cost in the county, such as Ramapo, Pearl River, South Orangetown. Some of them share a cost. For example, 19% at Clarkstown of a full FTE, full-time equivalent, of a school resource officer. And Nanuet pays $42,000. Almost 10 years ago, we paid 50% of the total cost of an SRO, plus benefits, which was approximately $92,000. That was the school's share, and the town would take the other half. Today, 50% cost would be approximately $100,000 for the school per SRO. Economic challenges make it trying for the school district and the towns to provide SROs. We are working collaboratively with our towns to lobby for additional state and federal SRO funding. We welcome and encourage the community to become involved in this effort. We have witnessed what our great community can achieve when they come together. Moreover, because of the migrant settlement, our community faces unique challenges in other towns or school districts in New York State have confronted on the same scale. We have 9 buildings, and this is important, with students. Thus, we want to make sure that all our buildings are adequately secured, not just a select few, not just the high school, not just Fieldstone. We know the horror of what occurred in Newtown, Connecticut Elementary School. So the danger is not only at the secondary school levels. We've asked for a security audit from our 2 police departments. We will continue to collaborate with our 2 town police departments. Haverstraw Transit is adding cameras and GPS on their buses, and we are significantly increasing camera installations on all the properties. District and building level plans are always being reviewed and concerns addressed. We have lockdown drills, and for obvious reasons, there are several other infrastructure, technological, and procedural items that we cannot discuss in public. But we feel this is very important, and we're going to continue to talk about the security so that we feel that we're comfortable enough in all of our schools. Thank you very much.
Just to follow up on what was just said, have we looked into asking NYSER Insurance Company to do theirs too? You have? Okay, thank you.
Good evening, and to start us off today, I would like to turn the program over to Virginia Stellato, our music coordinator.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here at this important board meeting. The presentation you're about to see is a bit of a teaser from our upcoming Fieldstone musical. Is Little Shop of Horrors. We have with us tonight Armando Mendez, who is playing Seymour, which, if you're familiar with the movie, was the Rick Moranis role, and Sophia Nardone, who is playing the Audrey role, which in the movie was played by Ellen Green. And they are accompanied by our director, Mr. Salwa. Our performances are April 27th and 28th. Tickets are $10 for adults, $5 for students and for senior citizens, and we really hope to see a lot of you come out and support this wonderful show. We have about 30 kids in the cast. We have a predominantly student-led pit with a few of our high school students and a couple of our middle school students. So it's really an all-around great student production, and we hope to see you there. Thank you, and please enjoy this performance.
All my life I've always been poor. I keep asking God what I'm for, and He tells me, gee, I'm not sure. So that floor kid, oh, I started life as an orphan, a child of the streets, here on Skid Row. He took me and gave me shelter, a bed, some bread, and a job. treats me like dirt, calls me a slut, which I am. So I lived that's your home address and your life's a mess. Your depression's just at its core. Someone show me a way to get out of here, 'cause I constantly pray I'll get out of here. Please won't somebody say I'll get out of here. Someone give me my shot or I'm right here. Show me how and I will, I'll get out of here. I'll start climbing uphill and get out of here. Someone tell me I still can get out of here. Someone tell me that I'm stuck here. Gee, sure you'd be smart to get out of here. In the gutter, farewell and get out of here. I knew heaven and hell and get out of skin. I knew I don't know what to get out of skin, but I had to a lot to get out of skin. People tell me there's not a way out of skin, but believe me, I gotta get out of skin.
Matchbox of our home, a fence of red chain link, a grill out on the patio, disposal in the sink, washer and a dryer, and an ironing machine in the tract house that we share. Somewhere that's green, he rakes and trims the grass, loves to mow and weed. I cook like Betty Crocker, and I think like Donna Reed. There's plastic on the furniture to keep it neat and clean. The pine soul scented air, somewhere that's green. Between our frozen dinner and our bedtime, 9:15. Samuel watching Lucy on a big, enormous 12-inch screen. I'm his December bride, his father, he knows best. The kids watch Howdy Doody as the sun sets in the west. A picture out of Better Homes and Gardens magazine. Far from Skid Row, I dream we'll go somewhere that's green.
Lift up your head, wash off your mascara. Here, take my Kleenex, wipe that lipstick away. Show me your face, clean as the morning. I know things were bad, but now they're okay. Suddenly see more, standing beside you. Don't need no makeup, pretend, suddenly see more is here to provide you sweet understanding. Sin pours your friend.
Nobody ever treated me kindly. Daddy left early. Mama was poor. I'd read him in and I'd follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers, me I'd say show. Suddenly single, standing beside me. He don't give me orders. He don't decide. Suddenly simple is here to proclaim sweet understanding. Sing us, my friend.
Lesson for you. Tell me the bad times wash away.
Please understand that it's too strange and frightening. Places like I've been, it's so hard to say. Suddenly single,
He purified you.
suddenly
Yes, you can be more. The girl that's inside you, with sweet understanding.
sweet understanding.
Sweet understanding.
Sweet understanding.
Sweet understanding.
See us,
Thanks. Another round of applause for our performers. April 27th, 7:30, April 28th, 2 p.m. and 7:30. Tickets $10 for adults, $5 for students and senior citizens.
Thank you. And now if I could call Dr. Gill up, and we will be recognizing the top 5% of the graduating class of 2018.
Check, check. Thank you, Mrs. Zephyr. Thank you, Board of Education, for having us this evening. The top 5% from the class of 2018 is truly an amazing group of young men and women. Not only are they smart and successful academically, they've also done so much to make North Rockland High School a better place. This group truly does make it happen, whether it's in the classroom or on the sports fields or in the drama society or involved in community service. They give back so much more than I think we've even given them, and I want to thank them and congratulate all of them. And before I call the list, I want to share with you just a sampling of some of the top tier colleges and universities, both public and private, that these students will either be attending or have been accepted to for next year. And I'm leaving a lot out, so kids don't get mad at me if I forgot your school. From the state schools, there's Binghamton, Stony Brook, Buffalo, Albany, Geneseo. Private schools including Georgetown, Northeastern, Johns Hopkins, Fordham, Vassar, George Washington, Villanova, Lehigh, University of Michigan, University of Florida, Florida State, University of California, Davis and Irvine, NYU, Boston University, Bucknell, Marist, Stevens, King's College, RPI, RIT, Syracuse, and just many, many more. So as you can see, they're getting into some of the top tier colleges and universities, and that's due to their great academic program we have here at North Rockland High School, but also and mainly due to their hard work and dedication. Before I call the list of top 5%, I'd like to point out some amazing accomplishments of the entire class of 2018. Of the 620 potential graduates from the class, 65 seniors, or 10% of the class, achieved a GPA of 95 or higher. 104 additional students had an average of 90 or higher, so that's 27% of the entire class with a GPA of 90 or higher. Finally, an additional 125 students achieved credit roll status, that's a GPA of 85 or higher, making a grand total of 49%, almost half of the class of 2018 will be graduating with an 85 average or higher. And as far as our college partners tell us, that's the mark of a college and career ready student. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce the top 5% based upon grade-point average. The GPA range for this amazing group of 32 students is between 97.6 and 100.33. We'll call the entire top 5%, a total of 32 students, in alphabetical order, and then when we're done, I'll announce the salutatorian and valedictorian. We'll go in alphabetical order. When we call your name, students come on up and grab your certificate and a flower. First up, Tanya Alex. Caroline Brega. Melanie Capizano. Michael Cernicki. Riley DeGroat. Diane Don Santos. Daniela Devaney. Natasha Fallon. Elizabeth Fox. Sharon Gerber. Jillian Haber. Kevin Kudelka. Kayla Leonard. Ariella Levy. Matthew Lewis. Tristan Lee. Tanya, if you could move the line all the way down towards the flag area that way. Okay, next up, Benjamin Lynn. Patrick McGee. Sanjana Mala. Chad Marcario. Matthew Marino. Skylar Mason. Skylar had another commitment tonight, so Skylar's not here. This is okay? Monica Madrano. Olivia Mendelson. Tanya, at the end of that line, can you just curve around under the Honor Society members? Just keep going. What did I leave off? Okay. Olivia Mendelson. Sophia Mueller. Caitlin Ocasio. Roshini Prasad. Freya Peters. Christopher Tiso. Isabella Valentino. Olivia Basti. And Lara Ann Villanueva. Okay, from this group of amazing 32 students, we're proud to introduce the salutatorian and valedictorian of the class of 2018. Your salutatorian, or student with the second highest GPA from the class of 2018. She'll be heading off to Georgetown University in the fall. Sanjana Mala. And the valedictorian, or student with the highest GPA, her GPA was 100.33 in a class of 624 graduates. She'll be heading off to Northeastern University up in Boston in the fall. Roshini Prasad. That's your top 5% from the class of 2018. Let's give them all one more big round of applause. Thank you again, Mrs. Decker, and thank you, Board of Education, for all your support.
Great, congratulations.
This is one of those favorite nights of ours because we get to highlight everything that makes North Rockland excellent. You saw academic excellence, and we couldn't be more proud of our top 5%. They're hardworking students, and not just academically. If you see that group, most of them participate in some sport, many activities, many clubs. So they're well-rounded students, and they always make us proud. But now, a group that makes us just as proud, our music department, and you saw a piece of that tonight in terms of our play at Fieldstone. The play at the high school last month was phenomenal. And tonight is what I call like the sectionals. We have a lot of athletes that we're recognizing tonight too from our winter season. But in the music department, being part of the Old County is kind of like sectional play for athletes. So this is our intermediate Old County music students that we are about to recognize tonight. And once again, I'll turn it over to Virginia Stellato.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Eckert. With us tonight to help recognize our students are Mr. Block, who's the choral teacher for 5th and 6th grades at Farley and 4th, 5th, and 6th grades at Haverstraw. Ms. Jennifer Banky, who is 4th grade chorus at Farley and 4th, 5th, and 6th grade choruses at Willow Grove. And Ms. Casey Liebesberger, who's the band director for 4th, 5th, and 6th grades at Willow Grove also. So thank you for being here tonight. Come on down here so you can get your certificates out to your students. Okay, so from Farley Elementary School Orchestra, Arjun Venkatasan. Come on around. And from chorus at Farley, Lillian Barron. Mike. Stanley Brown, Giovanni Hernandez, Juliana Hubner, Penelope Jimenez, Nicholas Keeley, Olivia McCarron, Peter McCarron, Leanna Quinones, Rachel Ramirez, Alicia Rivero, Luke Schaefer. Are you guys, come on down when I call your name so we can give you your certificates. Paige Sinatra and Mary Sullivan. Come on down, guys. I thought it was pretty strange that none of you. Congratulations. From Haverstraw Band, Eric Schreck. Are you here, Eric? There he is. From Haverstraw Orchestra, Nellie Lopez and Evan Wallitzer. And from Haverstraw Chorus, Nora Aday, Sophia Allen, Chantel Antoine, Giancarlo Gomez, Mia Santana Garcia, Aishel Ha, Amira Hernandez, Chanel Rosario, Crystal Santiago, Lidiana Sierra, and Ariana Telesco. Congratulations. From Willow Grove Elementary School, from the band, Anna Andrievsky, Hannah Lipman, Anantha Paravatsu, Ibla Badash. From the orchestra, Isabella Reynoso. And from the chorus, Analia Ospitia, Noelle Bellio, Olivia Beltran, Joseph Paul, Crystal Conklin, Jeremy Cruz, Amaya Danklar, Chantel Furman, Iverson Furman, Kelsey Henderson, Aaliyah Holman, Graciela Lawson, Kayla Lagola, Emily Lichbron, Isabella Pesamente, Karen Ramos, and Jaylene Zini. Congratulations. Thank you to all the administrators and central office and our Board of Education for their support of the arts. And we look forward to having these fine young people on stage doing teasers for you next year because they'll be in the Fieldstone musical and then the high school musical after that. So thank you, and keep singing, keep playing, keep practicing.
And now we will be recognizing the girls' track, and Mr. Diglio unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but he sent me a little blurb to read on his behalf. And it says, for only the second time in the past 20 years, the North Rockland indoor track and field team completed the triple crown of winning the league, county, and sectional titles. Not only did the team excel, but we experienced great success on the individual level as well. 21 girls scored points to help lead us to the county title, and many of them hopefully will be here tonight. 16 of those girls were responsible for winning our second section title in 3 years. And we had the following girls qualify for New York State Championships: Haley Morales in the 3,000 meter, Caitlin Tui, the 1,500 meter, Nadia Saunders in the triple jump, and the 55, I think it's hurdles, and the 4x400 relay team of Kaylee Perret, Jalaya Goodby, Torre Insar, Sophia Hausman, and Ivana Lopez. We came home with 3 state titles. The 4x400 relay team won first relay title ever. Nadia Saunders won the triple jump in her first season triple jumping, and Caitlin Tui won her first indoor state title. So, and also beyond that, this team went on to national championships and were very successful. They finished second in the spring medley relay, the team of Sophia Hausman, Nadia Saunders, Ivana Lopez, and Caitlin Tui. And they also won the 3rd straight distance medley relay, the team of Haley Morales, Sophia Hausman, Deandra Francois, and Caitlin Tui. Congratulations to the team on a phenomenal season. Again, ladies, if you're here tonight, please come up when we call your name. Tabitha Aponte, Rebecca Baez, Kayla Blackwell, Deandra Francois, Erin Gallagher, Jalaya Goodby, Sophia Hausman, Sarah Howard, Tori Insar, Kayla Loderick, Ivana Lopez, Ashley Morales, Haley Morales, Brittany Pesamenti, Kaylee Perret, Sabrina Hernandez Reyes, Catherine Rufino, Nadia Saunders, Brittany Tomala, and Caitlin Tui. They may have a meet tonight, though. The next team that we're about to recognize made a hockey fan out of me this season. And that's our hockey team. If coach is here, could you please come up? Coach Dorkowitz.
Just a couple quick things. I think that it's really neat to do something that, you know, when people tell you can't do something, that's really the best thing in the world. You do something that people say you can't do. I think it's a little bit different when somebody's blazed the trail before you instead of blazing your own. Each part of the season, And this wasn't just 1 year for these guys, it was a number of years to get to this point, but they blazed their own trail, like many of the athletes in here, in the top 5%ers. You know, you do your thing because you believe in it. These guys believe in themselves, their teammates. I think down the road a little bit, they'll understand more about what they accomplished. A lot of people asked during the time in the playoffs, like, what was your favorite moment, the favorite piece? And for me, the favorite piece was after the section championship. Well, there was two pieces of that, but the first one was at the end of the game when our players were pressed up against the glass against a bunch of you guys who were there. I have that picture in my office at home. That to me was like community coming full circle. It was about all the support that you guys get and our players get from our administration and our school board. A real thing, like being North Rockland, it's a special thing. I'm really proud of our players and our coaches. I will say something, you know, you guys know I'm a teacher, I'm not a politician, but I'll tell you that Mrs. Zachary was at every game. She wasn't at like just the final game. She was at every playoff game. And in the last game, we were in Buffalo and in a remote place of that building, and she found us in this little remote place to congratulate our players. So on behalf of our players, I want to thank her for doing that.
Coach Colbert, your team is not just doesn't play hockey. They do a lot of community stuff. And can you highlight just one or two of those things? I just think it's
Right, so again, like the players, I'm sure they make fun of me for the things that we say over and over, but one of the things we talk about is relationships and how important relationships are. Dr. Gill up here in the high school is terrific in terms of supporting these guys. And shoot me an email and say, hey, listen, could you okay us getting 5 or 6 guys out to help? One of the elementary skates, and some of the physical education teachers take their 2nd and 3rd graders out to Square-Rama. We get a release for these guys. They go out and they help tie skates and they help the kids get out there and get their feet underneath them. We did a toy drive for Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital Westchester, which I know a lot of you guys are familiar with, and as it turned out, one of our players wound up spending 5 days in there this year. So it comes full circle, and those are just a couple of things that the guys do. But they do a lot of good things, these guys. They go out of their way to help out in the community. They understand the importance of that, as many of you do also. All right, so I'll call the guys up. Some of the guys do have like hockey trials and things going on, but I'll call the names. Guys, when you hear your name, come on up. Stephen Apicella, Alex Bialik, Colin Callanan, Dylan Poole, James Costin, Victor Diaz, Eric Dunn, Kyle Dunn, Sean Doherty, John Gormley, Aiden Grange, Gregory Grange, Jack Guerra, Chris Hilliard, Darren Hilliard, Brian Jensen, Luke McMillan, John McElroy, Bailey McGrady, Anthony Marino, Luke Morris, Matt Pasalipo, Max Rosen, John Venner, Angelo Zada, and a special thanks to our volunteer coaches. I know 2 were here tonight, Mr. Grange, Mr. Anderson. Who did we forget? Gotcha. Sorry, I got it. Tim O'Connor, Connor Farley. So the team finished this year with a 28-5 record. They were section and regional champions and state semifinalists, and finished 3rd in New York State final ranking. Thank you so much.
Since I know many of our athletes will leave because they have busy lives and they have to be back here tomorrow morning. So guys, don't feel bad as soon as you go back to be able to go. But before they go, what makes me always so proud of our student athletes is not just how well they compete and how well they do, but how well they carry themselves as students and as people when we compete. We actually, and the coaches can probably back me up on this, we get congratulated on the sportsmanship that our teams demonstrate. And that is just as important to me as winning, and I couldn't be more proud of these guys. They carry themselves so well all season. And for me, the highlight, Coach, was beating Suffolk. Coach Holmes, and we will be recognizing the boys swim team.
Mrs. Eckert and the entire Board of Education, thank you so much for taking the time to recognizing all of our athletes. We as coaches push our kids to their potential and what we believe is beyond their potential. And just about every time they take it one step further and they do things that we never could expect. Many times this year, I write a workout and expect things from them that I'm not even sure they can do. And they take that above and beyond. It blows my mind every time. So I'd like to take a second and recognize some of the accomplishments of our two guys up here. We had 6 guys that made the state championships this year. A couple guys couldn't make it this year, but tonight. Daniel Adjudge, a couple important stats on these young men. Daniel was top 16 in the 100 fly sections and made his first appearance at the New York State Championships. And I gotta be honest with you, I've never seen him have so much fun and compete at such a high level at the state championships. Luke Gamboli was second team All-County this year in the 100 butterfly, and his second appearance in the 100 fly at the New York State Championships, placing 38. Patrick Dwyer has been diving with us for 4 years, was 5th at the section championships, was 8th at the state championship, and the first North Rockland diver to ever make the top 20 at the state championships. He wasn't even expected to make the cut, let alone 8th place. 2 school records in the 6 and 11 dives. We have Jared Finn, who's currently down at the University of Florida, being recruited down there to compete down there. He was Rockland County MVP, Section 1 champion in the 100 free, 4th at the state championships, and a school record holder in the 100 free. And of course, we have Chris Tiso, one of our seniors, one of our top 5 in the school. That's another one of our proud moments with the team. Top 16 in the sections in the 200 IM, second appearance at the New York State Championships. And last but not least, Tim Engel was 9th in the 200 free and the 500 free at sections, and his second appearance as a freshman this year at the state championships, and already has his sights on a state championship before he leaves, and I would not put it past him. These 2 guys, along with Daniel and Jared, we're on our 400 freestyle relay team that placed 5th. That was the best place we've ever finished at the New York State Championships. So, Ms. Eckert and the board, thank you so much. These kids work so hard. It's nights like tonight that lets them know that doesn't go unnoticed. We appreciate it.
Next up, a team that also has had a phenomenal season and national recognition, our cheerleading team.
Just like to say, when cheer starts, it starts in August, and we go all the way to March. So for 7.5 months, all 28 of us are all together, 27 of the girls, myself, 3 coaches. So it's a very, very long time that we're together and we spend, I think I'm more or less like their mom because I'm with them more than their parents are. They had an amazing, amazing season. This was their 8th year of being full conference champions. This is their 3rd year in a row of being Section 1 champions of the large school, large team division. With their regular local comps, they have placed first place in 3 comps out of 4. They also went down to Dallas for NCAA High School Nationals, and they became high school national champions there in Dallas. As well as in states, they came in 3rd out of 8 teams in states, but they performed the best, most immaculate, amazing routine ever. They have also been awarded the Koalas Community for Cause Leadership for Children's Hospital of Montefiore of donating the most toys for their toy drive at that comp. So I am very, very proud of them, always, and great season. Good job, girls. I'm going to call you all up. Alyssa Anderson, Kylie Bond, Caitlin Buzowski, Haley Bukowski, Victoria Caldiero, Alexandra Pavria, Anaya Chung, Kiara Clemente, Haley Curran, Sophia DiCarlo, Danielle DiSclafani, Isabella Falciano, Christina Fogarty, Natalie Grohl,
Natalie!
Maya Johnson, Ashley Jones, Jocelyn Laguna, Kaya Langley, Madison Lemo, Zeta Lennon, Michaela Fuccio, Alexandria Schneider, Olivia Senator, Julia Sidoti, Olivia Sullivan, and Camille Uttner. That is our 2017, 2018 North Rockland High School varsity team.
And is Coach Nelson here? No? Okay. Well, another team that had a phenomenal season and a phenomenal state championship were our boys bowling team. And I was very happy to be there for their championship title too, and another group of young men that always make us very proud as well. So they are also repeating champions, and I don't think we've had too many of those in the past, or that the section has had too many of those of bowling team that are twice in a row. They won the championship last year by 1 pin. They were sweating it out. This year they made it much ampler. They won by much more. And but again, congratulations, and please guys come up when we're called. Joseph Ardiri. Dylan Wilson. Matthew Kona. Joshua Cruz. Phoenix Dalto, Nicholas Simeon, Nicholas Trujano, and Nicholas Verano. A lot of mix on the team. And because these two teams travel in pairs, our girls bowling team were also league, county, and sectional champs, and they ended up in 6th place in the state, also had a phenomenal season. And again, it's a great group of young ladies, and they have a few seniors on that team, but they also have a lot of them coming back, and I know that we'll be back next year with this team as well. So the following ladies, please come up to be recognized. The girls bowling team, section champs. Nicole Kona, Akira Deloach, Nancy Kohat, Olivia Kohat, Mercedes Morel, Taylor Morgan, Isabella Calamaro, Victoria Verano, and Anna Sayas. And the other team that won the section also were the boys winter track. They are an awful lot here, so I think they might have a meet tonight. If any of the boys winter track students are here, could you please come down? They're at a meet. They're at a meet. Okay, coach, you're here. I will give you their certificates. They had also a phenomenal season, and congratulations, very proud of our boys' winter track. Okay, we will continue with our budget presentation for tonight. And again, to anyone in the audience, our budget presentations are all placed on the website. I know the numbers sometimes up here, especially if you're in the back, they're difficult to see, but you can find all our presentations on the website. So to start out with, we always recap on things that we have done to help us with our Myron situation over the years. For anyone new in the audience that may be new to our situation, the towns of Haverstraw and Stony Point and the villages of West Haverstraw and Haverstraw back in 2006 settled a huge settlement with the Myron Corporation, in which the district had to pay back $224 million, and the power plants that at one point paid into our levy $44 million are now paying 1.6. So there was a reduction in the levy in terms of the money that we were able to collect as a community in tax from those plants, but also for the school district, a huge payback to those plants. So over the years, we keep track of everything that we have done, both our employees and ourselves as a district, to keep the district afloat. And we're just adding the most recent up there. As you know, last year we had a huge petition drive with the Myron Debt Relief Committee, and we were able to get over 10,000 signatures. We were awarded a one-time $4 million in additional aid. That was a one-time payment. What we keep lobbying in Albany for, as you know, is sustainable aid. We still have 20 years left of that debt, and it's $11.5 million a year. That does nothing for the schools or the district. So we have continued to lobby with Albany, and we ask everyone to join us in that lobby, to continue to reach out to our legislators and say what the district needs is sustainable aid, not a one-time shot. In terms of the state aid for this year, we did a little better than we had done last year. With the governor's proposal, we were due to get an increase of $2.2 million in state aid, which was about a 3.6%. With the legislative ad that usually happens, we ended up with a $3.2 million increase in state aid for a 5.4% increase in state aid. So an additional $1 million came as a result of the final budget. Again, we keep this going because the state tells us if we were fully funded, what we would be receiving in state aid. And through the years, from the time that the state aid was frozen, the foundation aid was frozen, and then you have the gap elimination on top of that for those 7 years. The district is really short at this point, from 2009 to now, $201 million. That, along with the Myron settlement, along with the devaluation of the plans, it's a miracle that we're still standing. And we're still standing because we have worked as a community to be able to keep the district afloat. But those are tough numbers to overcome in any budget. This year, if we were fully funded, we should be receiving an additional $28 million. If you notice, that number is higher. Last year was 23, now we're 28. Our demographics have changed, but because aid numbers have been frozen for the last 10 years, our demographics are a little different than they were 10 years ago. And our poverty in the district is very different from what it was 10 years ago. But those things are not being taken into account in terms of our fully funded. Here's what I'm talking about in terms of wealth ratio. You can see in the first, in the blue, what the property wealth is in the state, the average property wealth, based on the formula that they use, and the number that they use for income wealth. And the average combined wealth for the state, the average is 1.0. You hear in the next few lines there, you see every district in the county, and Harris to Stony Point by far is below the state average and below everyone in the county. So we are really, in terms of wealth ratio, the poorest district in the county. And when you look at the number underneath, it shows that these are, by the way, these are last year's numbers, I should say, because this year's haven't been fully out yet, so we haven't been able to update. So there's the 23 million that we should have been funded last year. If we were fully funded this year, remember that number grows to 28. So that 37% that we're underfunded is also going to grow, since the new number is 28 million. But severely underfunded and severely the poorest district in the county. In terms of our tax cap calculation for this year, that's one number that is in our favor. If you notice, the last few years, there was one year that we had a negative tax cap. So the 2% levy limit is really a limit on the levy, and it's based on this formula that the state gives us. It's not a 2% cap on your taxes. This year, our levy limit allows us to bring up the levy 4.9%. for a total of $6.9 million. That will be helpful because, as you know, the levy was reduced when we settled the Myrant settlement using reserves. Those reserves are running pretty low, and it will get us out the next 2 to 3 years. But after that, we will have a huge gap in our budget if we can't make our income in terms of state aid and our levy meet. So it's a good opportunity for us that we haven't had in 6 years to bring the levy a little closer to where it needs to be to avoid that gap in 3 years. So obviously it's going to be important. A budget vote is very important this year. Summary of revenue. You have here the pieces that make up our total revenue picture, the state aid on top. If we do convert to full day kindergarten, it has to go in our budget this year. But you see that for the first year, it really cost us $73,000 if we don't get the aid on 100% of the classes. But the aid does come back from the state, so it doesn't affect the levy for this year. It just affects the total number of our budget because we have to include that amount in our budget. It does come back from the state. You see the NRG pilot because they exceeded the production that they were limited to in their pilot. We did get an extra 200,000 or so from them. So instead of 1.6, their payment was 1.8. And then you'll see our tax levy there and the subtotal. You see the gap that we will still be using $6 million from reserves in order to come up to our full amount of the budget. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mentioned that they used to give us 46, now it's 1.8. The expenditures, you have it there detailed, and you'll see there that really our expenditures are pretty flat. They're not great peaks. There's one area, equipment, that is unusually high, and that area has been reduced over the years. But we had 2 pieces of equipment, a truck that was going to fail inspection, and also some snow removal equipment that was not going to pass inspection either. So we have to replace those 2 big pieces of equipment. It gets to a point that you can only reduce your maintenance and your equipment budget so much, and then certain items are going to have to be replaced. So that's the reason there's a 19% increase there. Those 2 pieces of equipment have to be purchased this year. The other big drivers continue to be our health insurance costs. You know, for the last 3 years, it's been double digits. We're with a self-insured consortium that's really a non-for-profit for schools, but even their cost, and we know this is a national issue, their costs continue to increase, and for the last 3 years, we have had a double-digit increase, 10%, 12%, and 10%. So that is our greatest cost driver there. The total budget, however, without full-day kindergarten added to that, the budget-to-budget increase is still under 2%, 1.89. If we add kindergarten to that, the additional 2.4 million needed to add the full-day kindergarten, then our total budget increase would be 3.2. But again, that 2.3 would be coming back from the state. We're a people business, so most of our budget, obviously 72%, and you would see this in any school district, is on program. Our employees, we deliver services to children, so we don't spend a lot anywhere else. We spend it on our employees because that's what delivers the services to our children. Administration is 11% of that budget. MIRA continues to be 5% of that budget, and then capital improvements, 12%. If the proposed budget fails, as you know, with the law that's in place right now, we would not be able to add anything to the levy. So we would have to use an additional $6 million from reserves to make us whole, and then we would need an additional $390,000 in reductions. The other thing that could be done is taking the whole $6 million in reductions, but we know where we've been for the last 12 years, and honestly, to reduce that amount of money in this district anymore, you would totally devastate programs. So the board, very, judgmentally, I think, and well thought out, chose to use the reserves to keep the programs in place for students as long as the reserves are there, and get us through another year of the budget should the budget fail. Should the budget pass, obviously that additional $6 million will probably get us through a fourth year. So everything we could push off another year, it's another opportunity for state aid to catch up. Again, the analysis over the years, we ran out of space to have every single year there since 2006, but when you hear me talk about the levy, even with the years that have gone by from 2006 until today, until last year, the 2017-18 school year, the levy for that year was still less than what the levy was in 2006-07. So for the first time next year, with the increase that the formula allows to go up, will be the first time that our levy is higher than the levy was back in 2006-07. So I think we had the auditor come in, they complimented us and the board on being able to sustain the district as well as it has been sustained. So I think we're good stewards of our taxpayers' money. For the 12-year run, the average increase budget to budget has been 1.8%, and the levy increase now with next year's increase will be even less than 0.5% over 12 years on the average. Yes?
Explain, why is it? Here the levy is the same or less, but what we're paying, it seems triple compared to 10 years.
Absolutely. We're making up for what the commercial properties in that 44 million that we're not getting in those plans. It's being spread through the community. I mean, some of it has come in terms of cuts. We used to keep a list and a tally of money that we've saved the district by the reductions that we have made over the years and the closing of the buildings. And I think last time we stopped tallying that about 3 years ago, we were over 54 million, then the budget would be 54 million higher, even if those reductions were made. So in terms of why that shift, it's a combination of making reductions, but also a combination of Myrant is not paying $44 million that they used to be paying. So that has been spread over not just homeowners, but business owners in the community as well.
You mentioned the state controller's order found that we're doing things right. Can you get into the order we had in September regarding that cliff that we keep always saying
That's the one I was referring to. Part of that $4 million came with an ask from the governor's office that we submit not to an audit like they do every so many years. We had that one in 2014, so they'll be coming back in a couple of years, but to submit to a review of our budgets and a review of our projected budgets in terms of the cliff that we keep talking to the legislators about. And we had 3 auditors here for over a month. And at the end of that audit, they pretty much said, yes, what you're saying is actually even conservative. You guys have been conservative in your projections. And we see that year 4, the district has a real issue with a cliff coming. Budget reductions with an approved budget because of the increase in state aid and the increase in the levy this year. If the budget passes, there are no reductions needed to make the budget work. If the budget fails, I said we had to make up $390,000. It will be 1 NRTA position and 1 CSEA position, and an additional $200,000 that will come from field trips, athletics, and after-school buses. The NRTA position will be a reading position. The CSEA position is yet to be determined. We always look at retirements in making a final decision to try to match up retirements with reductions as best as we can. So we will have that one shortly. The MyRound overview, again, Rich, this is part of what you asked also. Before the settlement, you could see there that in 2007, the commercial properties in North Rockland made up 60% of the levy, and residential properties made up about 40%. Actually, I think it was about 38%. Today, the commercial properties make up 32% and the residential properties make up 68%. So there's been a shift also in who pays. There's less commercial properties paying that levy and more residential properties picking it up. So that shift also accounts for why our taxes tripled, although our levy went down. The rest of it is still the rest of the MyRound settlement. When you heard me say we settled $224 million payment back to MyRound, when you add the interest to that over 30 years, it's really $369 million. And our kids, as we say our kids, this has been taken away from programs and things they would have, and also from our taxpayers, because honestly, our levy would be $12 million less. So we have paid $145 million to date, but look, we still owe almost what we started out with, because it's almost like a mortgage. You pay those interest up front, and we still owe $223 million, and that debt will not be finished until 2037. Mike had put together this chart last year because we started noticing and reading in the paper things that were being done to help communities that have also had power companies in their backyards and have run into tax sanctuaries or closures of properties. And we saw that in Marlboro, just a little north of us, they had a shortage of $11 million on a tax settlement, and the plant closed, then reopened actually. But they were made whole with state aid on that $11 million. So 100% of what that settlement was, the state helped them with. Then we heard about the nuclear plants upstate and how we were going to, all of us in the state of New York, have a $2 surcharge. And we said to our legislators, you know, add another 50 cents and give that 50 cents to North Rockland. You're helping up communities upstate that have nuclear plants that are closing or threatening to close. So you're giving everybody a surcharge of $2. Where is our surcharge for North Rockland? We got nowhere with that suggestion, but we think they'll be made up 100%. Other municipalities, there was a special money set aside by Albany of $19 million for communities that had had a coal burning plant that closed. We said, great, Stony Point, love it, we qualify for that one. Well, the governor's office added some last minute language that said communities that have had a plant that closed after 2015. So they added 2015 to there, that took Stony Point and Lovett out of the game for that money. We have, again, our shortfall or settlement, the total cost, just for the school district, by the way, and I think Mike put together numbers because our legislators said, you know, we talk about the school district, but how much was the whole settlement? And when we had the 2 villages, the 2 towns, and the county, it was over $500 million, the entire settlement for Rockland County, because it affected many municipalities. But ours was $369 million. So far, in additional aid over the years, we've received a total of $10 million. So 2.7% of that debt, that's the help that we have gotten from the state so far. Now we're hearing about our neighbors across the river, Indian Point closing. There have been several articles about the concern for the community surrounding Indian Point and the school district that lives there, and the shortfall that they're going to have in their budget. And we're reading those articles saying, yeah, been there, done that. And we're keeping a close eye on what's being done across the river, because we want to say, wait a minute, North Rockland too. And we read in the paper last week that the governor has put together a $56 million pot of money to be able to aid those communities and municipality and school district over the next 7 years. So again, we're questioning, are they going to be covered 100%? And again, where is North Rockland being aided by the state equally to other parts of the state that are being funded? Jim?
Well, this is just somewhat related. This money is going to be there because of anybody who's impacted by the closing of the plant. I think as a community, we should make an effort. If you know anybody who works there, who works in that town, who works at the plant, who works in any connection to that, it would be good, I think, as a community, if we could get some kind of tally, some kind of total, so we could go in and argue and say, this is going to impact our community, because those people, unfortunately, would be less able to pay their property taxes and remain in our community. So, I mean, if you know anybody who works there, involved in there, let's see what we can start to do to get a chunk of that money. Thanks.
Yep.
And also with that settlement across the river, they're not paying back a 30-year tax certiorari of $224 million. They're just getting, I mean, not that it's nothing, but they're just getting their tax base reduced. We had both.
Right. And we had a plant close.
Right.
So we had 3. So we had the payment back, we had the tax certiorari and the valuing of the plants, and then we have one actually closed. So we got hit 3 times with all 3 things, and I don't think anybody's had the triple crown except us. Remember when we were thinking in the office the other day, I said, I know Maureen last year had found an article where Governor Cuomo was not governor at the time, but was quoted when the Lubbock plant closed as saying back in 2007, this is a win for the environment and also a win for taxpayers, Mr. Cuomo said. We're going to reduce pollution, and with this agreement, we're also going to protect taxpayers of Stony Point and Haverstraw. Well, that's a hell of a way of protecting us. Now, the new article, communities around Indian Point Nuclear Power Plant would be able to tap into the $56 million fund for 7 years after the shutdown of the plant. So again, you know, he thought we were going to be better off. I don't disagree. Coal burning plants, they're not the cleanest thing. They refuse to put the filters that would make it more suitable. I don't disagree with the first part of that, but where that would be healthy for the taxpayers of this community, I fail to understand his comment. Again, we have on our website all our legislators, and they do listen to emails that they receive, to messages that are given. Again, all we're saying is this community has suffered, and it was told to us by the controllers people. They said, we have never seen a settlement this size. We have had the biggest tax settlement in the state of New York and very little help at the state or federal level to help us survive that. So we have to continue to lobby all our elected officials and say, we need help. And we still have a couple of meetings, and before our budget vote on May 15th, and again, to everyone in the community, please remember to vote on May 15th.
Mrs. Eckert, I know you said it in terms of amounts of money, but I just want to correlate that to years. So we're in our 11th year of the Myron settlement. 224 was a settlement. We borrowed 360, 365. So far we paid the interest. We still have a balance of 224. We have 19 years to go. So in terms of years, that's where we are in the chart. And that one slide you had on page 4 about us being the poorest in the county. Okay, now I feel it. It looks to me that, I just have my point, but it'll come. So that's approximately 46, if I'm correct, Mike, 46% less than the rest of the players in the county. And does that have to do with, are we poor because of Myron, or the Myron is not factored into us? Now we're poor because of Myron.
Well, I would think property wealth, that has something to do with it.
So that's
sure, they were valued at close to $1 billion, I think, at one point. Now they're valued at nothing.
Assessments. Okay,
So assessments, yeah.
Okay.
The property part of that formula, Robert, has to do with assessments in a community. What is the property value in a community? And of course, commercial value has a lot of value. Commercial properties have a lot of value. So the less of those that you have, the more driven down that formula drives your property value. And then the other is income value. What do people in the community make?
It's a very revealing slide. Thank you.
Is there any old business? Any correspondence? Moving now to the public comment portion of our agenda. If you would like to speak, please sign. And some people have already signed. Please speak to the board. There is a 3-minute time limit when addressing the board, and please be respectful of other people's opinions. You cannot speak about particular employees. Peter Green?
So thank you all for your efforts on behalf of our community in these difficult financial times. And I want to thank you for your continued support for the full-day kindergarten program. It's something that we really need to do. And the fact is, despite the difficulties of this period in North Rockland's history, and I've lived my entire life here, 38 years, it is incumbent upon us as a community to do our best for all of our children and all of our students. And we need to kind of do what's educationally necessary for them from the earliest possible age. So I encourage you to continue to explore and implement this full-day kindergarten program for the upcoming school year. Thank you for your time.
Please tell us your name and where you live.
Leah Green, Stony Point. I just want to, we've worked in Albany, really hard to get this funding passed, this additional funding in New York State. 100%, 60%, 30% for the first 3 years of full-day K. And we want the board to get on board and really, give this to our children. The children coming in next year and the children coming in after that. And, my little guy's in kindergarten already, but I have one coming up. She's only 15 months, and we have a whole bunch of kids in between there. So they really deserve, full day kindergarten. We thank you for your help in this endeavor as well, but we don't want to see the aid go to waste. So, thank you.
This is Romano. Just want to say thank you to the advocacy. My throat's getting too hot. Really, all your hard work is really appreciated. I remember meeting Mrs. Zuckerby. You said there were 7 of us here, but when the community really rallies together, that's a powerful message to our legislators, and thank you for your efforts.
Stephen Scotty.
Hello, everybody. My name is Stephen Scotty. I'm a Stony Point resident, former police chief of the town of Stony Point for 27 years and 5 years with the New York State Police. I'm here to talk about the issue of school safety. I was pleased to hear in the opening remarks that the school reported that there was $1.2 million spent on school safety for the year 2016 to 2017. For the record, I'd like to know how the money was spent and what level of security was derived from the expenditure. Thank you. Moving on, I would like to read 2 letters. First letter I wrote to your president, Barry Romano, on February 27, 2018. There was a national concern about school shootings throughout the United States. I am sure that you are acutely aware of that fact. It is also a fact that the school district is legally and morally responsible for the students in your care in the absence of their parents. In my opinion, it is clear that the majority of the shootings have been perpetrated by an active shooter after being unchallenged at the point of entry by armed officers. I also believe that these shootings will occur in any school that is not properly protected. Therefore, I urge you and the board to move quickly to protect your students and staff. Furthermore, I believe that your current school safety policy and district-wide emergency plan will do little or nothing to prevent the active shooter from entering the school and killing innocent students and staff. It is based on a reactive plan that is probably doomed to failure. If even one student is killed, the plan is put into effect too late. Is that the policy you wish to continue? I and many other people sincerely hope not. Lockdowns and having students running, hiding, and fighting back should only be used as a last resort when everything else has failed. Waiting for the police to arrive is not a viable solution because in most of the shootings, killings were done in minutes. You must institute a level of protection at the point of entry by armed officers if your intention is to save the lives of your students. This is only one component of a multi-layered security plan. There is one additional subject that I would think that the school should be addressed. The school resource officer program is widely used in many schools, with substantial benefits to students, teachers, and the community. Among a long list of duties, the officer works in collaboration with school officials in the community as a resource for safety and security issues. We do have SROs in our school districts in Rockland County. I personally know they were a proven asset to us all. Yet the school district unilaterally unilaterally chose not to continue funding them. And they were terminated. I do not believe there is a school today that would advocate that. Times have unfortunately changed for the worse, and we must meet the new challenges that face us all. I know that you have a daunting task ahead of you, but this is a subject that requires your immediate attention. Education is clearly a priority in our school district, as evidenced by the millions of dollars spent to accomplish this task. Now is the time for school safety and security to be prioritized according in a like manner. In conclusion, I would like to advise you that I am ready to offer your knowledge and experience of my 27 years as Chief of Police, the town of Stony Point, if you desire my input towards safety and security of our schools. I just would like to add that sent this letter return receipt, didn't even have an acknowledgement or a perfunctory response. That's all I have to say. I could go on speaking on this issue for many more hours. I'm still here if you need me to talk on the issue. I thank you all.
I have a comment. I did not make this before. I would like, we're all terribly concerned, and we are as a board. We've done a number of things. Mr. Maciel outlined some of them. There are other things, frankly, we've done, which we try not to make that public. The best thing you can start with is to make sure that all our children, all our adults, anybody in the community who hears anything that might indicate that there's some potential danger in terms of a student who needs mental help with psychology, etc., that we come out and we speak to the community about that. We also need to be realistic. The chances of being a student being killed in school are 1 in 2 million. These are verified statistics, and half of those are by suicides. I was in Florida during Parkland. I saw how horrible it was by chance, but that's the reality. Columbine is more than 10 years ago, and people speak about it as if it's yesterday. We have 9 schools in this district. No one would ever want to see us not do the same thing to protect every school. We can't just single out the high school or the middle school. At least that's what I feel. So I'd like people to be realistic about the chances of something happening in this district. Think about the last time this happened in New York State. It has not happened. Partially because we have much stronger gun laws. There are clear statistics that show that states that have stronger gun laws, Massachusetts, New York, have fewer occurrences of this kind of school violence and shooting. I'm merely saying, look at some of the statistics when we discuss this thing, look at what is happening, and we have to be realistic about the potential for this. Thank you.
Well, no, I would like to speak. I can speak for over 5 minutes.
It's almost like he's,
What? Those are the statistics, sir. Read them.
Okay, so Mr. Skirty.
Do you believe we're not going to have another school shooting, buddy?
What?
Do you believe we're not going to have another school shooting?
We can't.
You know where that school shooting is going to be? Could it be here? Could it be Colorado, Tennessee? Where
Mr.
is it going to
Skirty,
be?
what I do want you to know.
Statistics? People go to the lottery every day.
Please, Jim.
150
Please,
to 1.
Jim.
But somebody wins that lot. And I don't know.
Jim, I'm asking you to stop. Mr. Skirty, we do take, I'm sorry, you are welcome to come to the microphone and speak and cite it. I do want you to know that we take each and every member of this board and each and every member of the administrators throughout our district and our security guards. We all take school security highly seriously. So your letter did not go, I'm sorry I did not send you a response, but it does not go undiscussed. We talk about school security all the time. We are going to, by the end of this summer, have each and every one of our schools that have a second point of entry that if anything is before they're buzzed into the school. It's one of the things that statistically works. The other thing, that we have such a close relationship with our police officers. There's an amazing, that we just did as Mr. Masiello said, just had a meeting with the 2 town supervisors and the 2 chiefs of police, and they are in a very difficult budget situation as well. So it's not just the school district that we have a very difficult time affording this at the moment. It's the police departments and the towns as well. So that said, it doesn't mean that we just say, okay, we're not going to do anything about it. One of the resources that North Rockland has, and that Rockland County now has because of Tom Zugerby, is a very close relationship between what's happening in the town and the police departments and what's happening in the schools. And that is something that was missing in Columbine, which is why the work that Mr. Zugerby did was so vitally important to our community. Unfortunately, he was able to take that to Rockland County. So that's another one of the things you do, because what you find happening is that if you're separating schools and the community in your police department, then you're missing a lot of what's happening. Because so many of the things, even in Parkland, the community knew that there was a problem with this young man. The school knew that there was a problem with this young person. But there was it was terribly, terribly missed. I know how hard that this community, Rockland County and North Rockland in particular, work to make sure that what's happening on the outside and what's happening in the school is married. And that's one of the best things that we can do for school security. Another thing that we spoke about is making sure that from our youngest children, from kindergarten on up to our oldest children, really get the message of, if you see something or hear something, say something. That information needs to get to somebody, whether it's in the school or a police department in the community, and have that information. That would have stopped every one of the shootings that took place. Well, okay, and so. Okay.
Mrs. Romano?
Well, if you would like to come back afterwards, I believe this is your wife is going to speak also. Okay, so we're going to continue. I know other people have.
Mrs. Romano, just an item. We have not ruled out not having an SRO. We've sat with the towns, and they're in a financial position that they would struggle. Like, for example, Ramapo offers a lot of SROs to the schools at no cost. At no cost, Clarkstown offers one of the schools an SRO at $42,000. We paid $92,000 10 years ago, and that would be over $100,000. Our towns also would struggle to meet that need. That's how come we've had that meeting, and we work collaboratively with them, drafting a letter to seek state and aid for that. Also, it would be nice if that money was spent, that doesn't count towards our tax cap at the school level. So we have not ruled out SROs at all. But if you look around our adjoining towns, like Ramapo, they provide it to the school at no cost. Clarkstown and Reasonable, $42,000. We will be looking at $100,000 per SRO, and we have $200,000, but our cost would be about $100,000. That if we go 50% like we did last time.
Right. We were told, Mr. Fernandez, we were told last Thursday that the supervisors of the chief of police, by the supervisor of Havistraw, that they had no budget for this, and if we wanted SROs in our building, the school district would have to pay for that at 100%.
So,
Jim, please.
No, because we talk about the other districts, but when people look at the other districts, you should look at how many schools they're covering. And I can't imagine us doing this without covering all 9 schools, frankly. And that's one of the dilemmas.
I just wanted to make the point.
I
just wanted to make the point that SROs have not been ruled out, that we're looking to work with our towns and our legislators. And here's where we've actually, Mr. Masiello said, that we welcome that community input to help us do that, similar to the kindergarten group that's here. You know, we're looking for others' help.
Sir, we heard what you said, and it was very good. You know, we don't need to comment back, but I want to make everyone aware about the term SRO. It's not a fail-safe, it's not the cure-all. SROs cover usually 1 school or 2 schools in districts. We want to cover 9 if possible. We want to call them armed security. So it could be something a little less expensive, like sheriff, off-duty, retired policeman, as long as it's armed security. So using that term loosely, SROs, The reason why it's not a cure-all, it's only during the day shift. It doesn't even cover all the time, 181 days. For some reasons, it's less days when there's illness or whatever. It doesn't cover night games, God forbid that they come in and aim at the bleachers. It doesn't cover football stadiums on Saturday or Sunday. So it's just a small portion, SROs. And if you do it times 9, it's very costly in our district, more than any other district in the county. And it's not the cure-all. So we might be looking into something a little more level, and but we do want to call it armed security.
I agree with you 100%. Okay. I agree with 100%. I agree with you 100%. I didn't want to get into
Who's next?
But you do not need an SRO in every school.
So Wyatt, is Mr. Wyatt here?
Joe Wyatt, I'm a West Haverstraw resident. Also a member of North Rockland CSEA. North Rockland CSEA is here tonight because we are without a contract for nearly a year now. Our unit represents close to 400 North Rockland, Myron-paying, debt-paying community members. Our membership over the last 8 years and 3 contracts have made costly concessions in order to help our district's fiscal crisis. We ratified contracts freezing steps. We took half steps, changing over to a district recommended healthcare provider and formed a higher tiered healthcare system for new hires. During the same period, we took numerous layoffs, 120 to be exact. We struggled to provide the same vital services for our North Rockland educational community. So as Mrs. Eckert has said from time to time, we are doing more with less. As for our stalemate negotiations, a big sticking point is increasing our medical contribution. Well, that is a non-starter after our salaries have not grown due to concessions. Some of our members are floating very close to minimum wage due to medical insurance rising and salaries not. We find these budget presentations every month very ironic. Talk about how bad the situation has been for the community, yet 400 of our unit and our families are carrying this burden on our back. We have helped the district when they needed, and now we are feeling the pain. It's time for CSEA to get a fair contract. We stand united in our efforts to get the contract we deserve. Thank you.
I've been asked just to read a statement on behalf of the board, but I, on my own behalf, like to say too that the delay was in great part in your negotiating team knows this. We tried for many months to get in touch with Larry Sparber, who did not get back to us for many months. So the delay in the most part was in his not getting back to us in terms of setting dates. I'd like to just say that on behalf of the board, we believe we had made a fair offer. Unfortunately, we could not come to an agreement. Therefore, a mediation session was agreed to be set and scheduled. It is scheduled for April 30th, and we're hopeful that with the aid of a mediator, we will come to a resolution. We do appreciate what CSEA, NRTA, NRAA, all of our employees have done over the years to, as I said, as a community, keep this district afloat. It doesn't go beyond being noticed, and we do appreciate every employee. By the same token, I have to say that this board is an exemplary board in terms of acknowledging and valuing the employees that the district has.
My name is Brian Gerber. I live in West Haverstraw. I wanted to discuss school safety. As you said, there are statistics. There's lots of statistics. You can run statistics however you want them to be, so we're not going to get into that. I'm going to talk some facts right now. School shooting in Parkland, 6 minutes, 17 dead. Fact. School police officer did not confront the student. Fact. Federal government did not, FBI did not deal with the issue. Fact. Local police did not deal with the issue. Fact. School failed the student, he was expelled. Fact. Those are facts on the last school shooting. The fact of the matter is, what I do for a living brings me into a lot of schools. Our security at this school district is by far the lax that I see out of every school I go into. A lot of the schools that I go into, every student is wearing an ID around their neck. Some of those same school districts, every student, when they go into a classroom, scans their ID. Now, during a crisis situation, that information is now available to the crisis response team. Police, paramedics, fire, it's all there. Not a hard thing to do, it's technology. We're a big district, yes, but it's something that's simple. Easy enough done. Other districts, take your license, scan them into a computer, have all your information. We go in and we sign into a book. Oh, and it's not even within the first 5 to 10 feet of walking into the building. It's 20 plus feet away from the entrance, minimum at most schools. So if we're talking safety, it needs to be brought outside. It needs to be stopped before the people get into the building. And there's ways to do that. There's districts I go into that I can't even go in. I go into a room, parents that are picking up their kids don't even get to go in the building. The kids are brought to the parents, limiting the access into the building. Again, fact, you limit the people that are allowed in the building, you limit the crisis. You were talking about how resource officers wouldn't be available for football games and other events like that. I know that we can request town security for those. You can also hire off-duty security for that. I'm not going to argue that point, but it's true. There's other options out there for those few events. There has never been a mass shooting at an after-school activity. It's been during the day. It doesn't mean it can't happen, but we're talking statistics and facts. So it hasn't happened yet, let's say it like that. So as a board, I'm just wondering who here is trained in incident command? As a board, you are the ones that are going to respond and be part of the incident command system that is set up for an emergency response. Who here has training in that? Incident command is going to include the board. Is that the ICS training?
It's the fire training center and the name or nothing. But it's incident commander involved. I'm also commander involved.
Okay, so you understand what I'm talking about, incident command, because Mrs. Eckert, you being the superintendent in the school district, you may not play an active role during the active shooter situation, but you are going to be involved in incident command. The board's going to be involved in incident command. They are going to have to put out joint statements with the PIO officers from the police departments, the towns, the county, and everyone else that's going to be involved. So I want to know what training you all have. You're representing us as the parents of the students.
Well, sir, I did 24 years in the Unity Police Department, and I had a lot of credentials as far as crisis management.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. My other question is, what residents sit on your security committee? What residents that are not board members, that are not school officials, sit on your security committee, which I know you do have one?
Richard and myself, because we're residents.
But you're board members.
We're board members.
So what residents that are not board members sit on this committee? Why not? Why don't you bring us in, people who are willing to give their time to help you, who have knowledge, who have information that they can bring to the table and discuss stuff?
There's certain items that cannot be discussed with the public. So if we do, we violate a trust, and then something can leak out, and then potential shooter can have other information that he otherwise wouldn't know.
Okay, anybody watching a building can see what security we have. So I understand what you're talking about, plans. I sit on committees where we draw up these plans. I sat on the after action reviews for these incidences. So I understand what you're saying, but you know what? You can credential people, you can background check people. You do it to every teacher, every employee that works in the district. A couple of people on a committee is not going to bankrupt the district, but we'll get other thoughts and opinions at the table.
I just want to add also that there's facilities director or transportation directors on there. Every school, so that means every principal and staff select staff in every school, and then a district-wide policy that involves a number of other people, including Richard and myself. So there's quite a lot of people on the committee to give different ideas. And every year we get training on these situations in different places in the state and whatnot. And we take this training that happens in other schools and the new ideas, and this is given by the FBI, the Secret Service, and the sheriffs. So they're updating constantly what can possibly be done. We're right on the forefront of what needs to be done.
In your opinion?
Well, we are out of time. Thank you for your Rosemary?
Hi, good evening. I'm new to the community. My name is Rosemary Fair, and I live in Stony Point. I am a parent to a 5-year-old little girl who will be attending kindergarten. My daughter is special needs, and through her IEP coaches, it is suggested that she gets a 12-1-1 class, so that she needs the extra help for speaking. And I know the important decisions that you guys have to make, and I know how difficult it is and the situation, the dire situation that the community is in. But I can't say enough about these groups of moms who have just taken me in because I immediately asked what I could do to help. And I'm here with the North Rockland full kindergarten group, and we're just here, and I hope that you guys keep parents like me, because I know there's a couple of other parents that couldn't make it here tonight. And we just really need the help. My daughter has been benefiting from just her therapy and going into the system next year. I can't tell you how frightened I am knowing that she may not have the services that she needs. So please keep that in mind. We are here, new to the area, and I just want to stay here. Thank you.
Hi, she's shorter. So thank you for your kind words. Oh, sorry, Jen Teichman, Tompkins Cove. Thank you for all the kind words and encouragement that you had shared regarding the legislative efforts that we've taken over the past several years. We have, today, actually this evening, I spoke through contact with the legislators, and it looks extremely promising for State Ed Department. I'll follow up tomorrow with Senate. I'm not sure if that piece is needed, is what I was told today, but it looks really, really, really good. And we are, once we get that all done with, we're gonna shift our efforts to pushing for increasing families to come out and vote. Aside from fully kindergarten, obviously the giant elephant in the room is constantly Miron, and that is something that we as community members can be concerned about, of course. And not only us, but everyone, every single person here in this room, even with the SRO, every single piece of us needs to get rid of that so we can advance forward in all areas constantly. So that is something we're going to hopefully shift ourselves towards, and we've had some brief conversations on that. But I just wanted to thank you guys, and also thank you for the individual board emails that I've received from different board members with the ongoing encouragement. And I just wanted to finish with, we haven't necessarily done this alone. Thank you for everyone who's highlighting that. It has been everyone. So thank you, because together we've made change for New York State kindergarten students. We follow up with all the families around New York State, the other 4 school districts, and all positive feedback coming for their upcoming board votes. So thank you. Ron?
Good evening, how are you? Rocky Alexander, Stony Point. I don't know any other way to say this. I'm also here for school safety, and really was leaving it to Chief Skirty to have the conversation. One thing bothered me, and that's the only reason I'm going to speak and say what I have to say. I think it was disgusting to say 1% is in school safety, or whatever you said, the 1% statement. My daughter is not going to be a statistic. None, you talk to people that you tell the parents of the people in Parkland that it's 1%. There's 17 dead kids, right? But 1% is what you said 1%. What did you say?
One chance out of 2 million.
Okay.
If you check your math, you know that's not one.
Okay, so once again, it's one.
But you need to be, you need to be addressing, and you have not. So, I'm sorry, but I'm calling you to order, and I'm asking you to stop speaking. I'm asking you to stop speaking. You have not been addressed. You have not been addressed. Jim, you have not been addressed by the president. You need to stop speaking.
I'm simply
You have not been recognized. Mr. Krause, you have not been recognized.
This is on our mind. We're working towards this.
And no one is saying that you're not working with them or towards them.
Okay, Mr. Rocky, if you would please speak to me, because you're addressing the.
Once again, we're not saying that you're not looking into this. We're not saying that it's a line not being set at all. We're here as a community to try to help, number one, however we can, as the gentleman said, whatever information that someone can give in regards to technology, given to computers, given to an advancement as far as getting people in. I agree with you. There's days when I've gone into Fieldstone. Do I feel that that's the safest place? Not at all, because as he said, I'm walking 20, 30 feet to a 70, 80-year-old person. I don't know her exact age, but she just put it to you like this. I'm not afraid of her. How about that? And I don't think someone else is going to be afraid to burst in and do what they want to do. If they want to come in with ill intentions, they're going to come in with ill intentions. And that is just a little bit of an easier way to go into it, is what I'm saying. Here's a little bit harder, but again, as a community, we have to come up with something all together to make this work. And whether it's SRR, whatever it is, we need to come together and understand that the debts that we have, we need to take this offline and see what we can do as a community to make it happen, and so that way we can all live in unison, instead of being a statistic, which I do not want, as I said, my daughter to be.
I just, a few comments. One death is too many, and these are the things that keep us all awake at night, because the scenarios out there, nobody could ever prepare for them, including our police departments. We know what happens, and all we could do is react and train our people well so they know what to do. I just want to correct one thing from earlier. Our plan that we have in place in the district is given by the state of New York. It was worked on by the state police in the state of New York. And it's the plan that every school district in the state of New York follows. So it's not something we put together and threw together. It's something that's been vetted by the state police and has been worked on with the state education department and the state police and rolled out to every district in the state. You customize it for your own district, but basically the template is the same for every district in the state. In terms of technology, we always, like Mr. Maciello and Mr. Fernandez said, review what we do in schools and we add what we can. We have obviously limited means, but we have added something to secure our buildings and our infrastructure almost every year. We're now working with the Safe Schools Bond, and Ed Mulvey's doing an excellent job heading that up for us. And part of that, those funds could be used for security, and we're using probably half of that allotment for security measures, and we are looking into things such as scanners of licenses and different scanning devices for visitors in the building is one of the things that we're looking at. We're also ensuring that almost 100% of our buildings are going to be covered with some camera view, both inside and out. Again, our security measures are only as good as the people doing them, so we constantly train our monitors, our staff, because they have to ask questions, they have to be alert, but that goes for all of us, and that also goes for all employees, not leaving doors propped open, because again, measures and plans are only as good as the people that are executing them. So we talk to our kids, we talk to our staff, don't keep that door propped open just because you're coming back in. Use your swipe to get back in, because we want to make sure there's only one point of entry to our buildings, and that point of entry, the person is well trained and secure. Can we plan for everything? As Mr. Fernandez said, with all his years of experience, and he does have a wealth of experience from NYPD, none of us in the room, no building, no school, no municipality, no police department can ever plan for every ill-conceived thing that a demented, unfortunately sick person has in their mind. But all we could do is be well-prepared, well-trained, and protect our kids as best as we can. Thanks, Sam.
Mrs. Romano, we don't want to chase anybody away from bringing suggestions forward. We want to welcome those suggestions. I don't think we are chasing away, but I'm just saying we want to welcome those suggestions, and perhaps we can find some kind of forum or system, because someone may see something in a school that we're not noticing, and then you can see a visible lapse. A lot of the discussions that were mentioned here tonight, such as that distance, a lot of those issues where we have noticed ourselves. So this is not something new that's being brought to us, but we want to welcome the input, not chase it away, because that safety tip can be, we don't want that person to be the statistic, because one kid is too many. It's the ultimate nightmare that we all have. I know after you hear these incidents, it leaves you lost for words.
Thank you. Is there
We do listen. No.
But you did have your opportunities. You did have your opportunities.
We do listen to what everybody is saying here. Our daughter went through this district.
We have a person that might.
It is quite disturbing that the sign-in sheet, listening, sign-in person far away from the door.
Hi, my name is Pamela Hebner, and I live in Stony Point. First of all, there's a first time for everything. Second of all, I am a mother, I am a grandmother, I have 5 children in the district. I work at Stony Point Elementary as a monitor. We have never, ever been taught what to do on a lockdown. If we're outside on the playground, we are not told where to take the children, who we're supposed to contact. We were just given walkie-talkies to keep in touch with people on the inside of the buildings. We don't have the training for that. We're there for 3.5 hours. We're babysitters, basically. We're keeping them safe in the cafeteria and keeping them safe on the playground. We need some more guidance. We need some more input from somebody that knows what to do. Okay? Yes, definitely. The other thing is, I have seen with my own eyes children going up to the buzzer to open the door for people in the school. That's got to stop. There should not be an empty desk at any of the schools where somebody's supposed to be letting people in.
I asked you, did you say something when you saw that?
To who?
That's all. Because that would be your job. Listen, I'm not saying anything negative, but I'm just saying that any hint
saying something
has to be brought up to the principals in the school every time it happens. If there's a door left unlocked, has to be reported every time if it's all the way down the hall.
I'm outside with kindergartens, and there's like about 24 of them, 5 and 6 year olds. There's a door left open the entire time I'm on the playground with them, so that they can get inside to use the bathroom. There's no swipe for me to use my card to get them in. So that door is open. If there's a better way to do it, I'm all for it. Thank you so much.
Good evening, my name is Maureen Hyatt. I live in Stony Point. I am a parent of 2 children in the district, and I grew up here, spent my life here, a licensed clinical social worker for my work. So I am appalled, Mr. Kraus, by your dismissive nature. I am appalled by Mr. Kraus and the way he dismissed the security and safety of our children this evening. I am absolutely appalled. I'll leave it at that, and I'm sure I'm not alone in those feelings. I will say, for the community and for the board, when I see something, when I hear something, I say something. So last month, when a young man said that he was gonna kill his father, or kill his mother while she was sleeping in the middle of the night and happens to have a father who's a police officer with a gun, yes, I said something. He was 12. Last year, when a kid was posting all over social media saying he's gonna shoot up the school, I said something. He was 13. I am saying something all the time. So, Mr. Kraus, when you're saying something like that can't happen in our district, you're wrong. You are absolutely dead wrong. When I look at my children's social media accounts and the things that are said on there, when I hear from my children, my kids talk to me, other kids talk to me, people talk to me, because that's what I do for a living. So the things that I have in here are very scary to me. Things that I am not able to share with you because I have a license that I need to protect. Of course, if it comes down to somebody's safety, I let somebody know, without a doubt. About 2 years ago, I had to call the Stony Point Police Department because an individual, young man, high school age, was threatening to shoot up the Stony Point Police Department. This stuff happens in our community probably daily. I don't know about all of the times it happens, but I know it happens enough that it scares the hell out of me, and I am just absolutely appalled that this group and this topic was dismissed the way it was. I know for a fact doors in this building are propped open with bricks on a regular basis. I know the kids know that. I know the kids with issues know that. I know the kids without issues know that. So security as a whole, and I understand that certain things need to be kept under wraps. But when my 6-year-old, who's now 12, walks out of school and tells me, "Mommy, I have a plan for when somebody comes into my school with a gun. I'm gonna take a dead kid with blood and wipe his blood all over me and put him on top of me and pretend I'm dead." Sure, I worry about my kid. And I'm gonna tell you, without a doubt, I know I have a big mouth. I don't have a problem using it. There are a lot of people in this community that are afraid. They don't wanna put some of these stuff out there. They're not gonna tell you. They are not going to tell you. They'll call me before they tell you. So maybe an anonymous tip line, a way that people can get information to you so that they don't have to put themselves out there to start. I will guarantee you will be surprised with what you see there. I will guarantee it. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Barbara Shermanak. I live in Toronto, and I respectfully say I am happy to meet all of you. I wouldn't know you probably tomorrow if I passed you on the street, but I do know that you are, I'm sure, trying to do an excellent job for our children. But we're not really here tonight to applaud the school board. We're here for life insurance for our children. We know that this school district can boast of all kinds of wonderful grades, and we saluted 32 children tonight who just excelled. What are we doing to make sure that their life is going to be well lived outside of these walls? How can we guarantee these children that they don't have to be afraid to come to school? Maybe you haven't heard, but a lot of them are afraid to come to school. And I respectfully say, when you talk about odds, you're talking about Vegas, you're not talking about children. We cannot bear to think that one child is not going to be protected. And what is of great concern to me, as a take charge kind of person, I was always doing for my kids. My children graduated from this school in the 70s, so I'm long past worrying about them. But I am concerned about the children who are here today. I didn't have to rely on a school board to keep my children safe. I knew I could do that to the best of my ability. You're asking a lot of people who want to trust that everything that you proclaim is going to be done. And I will respectfully say I didn't hear anything about security in your budget. And I don't know where the money is supposed to come from the plan that is supposed to be already in place. I don't know. And when is it supposed to be implemented? If someone would walk in the door tomorrow, some disgruntled person who felt that they were marginalized by a teacher or a student looked at them cross-eyed and they just felt that they had to get even. Can any of you say that you would know what to do? That you have a plan in place? The silence is deafening.
There is a plan in place.
Yes, but where is it? Is it at the front door?
The plan is multi-tiered, and it involves not only our own security, but the relationship with the Stony Point and Haverstraw police departments as well. Because I asked that very same question. We were just at a national conference. There are some places around the country that the response time is 20 to 25 minutes. When we spoke to the chief of police, we're talking about a 2-minute response time.
So you're saying, excuse me, you're saying there's going to be no intervention at the door?
There is intervention at the door. After this summer, and we do not have it in place yet at the high school, it is in place at the rest of our schools where there's a double door entry before anybody comes in. I understand, and I did hear the concerns about Fieldstone, and that it is such a distance from the door. I do hear that. It is a concern that I've had, and it needs to be addressed. But there are things that are in place.
But would they be in place tomorrow?
The building has to take place over the summer. It's not going to happen tomorrow.
But when I read the guidelines
But
for the job that needed to be done in terms of securing a safety program, there had to be a timeline. I haven't heard a timeline.
Well,
if you're saying through the summer or in September, this plan is supposed to be in place.
No, there is a safety plan that the school district has. That's what Mrs. Eckman was talking about. No, it is actually implemented in our schools. And as far as the construction that I'm talking about, that's a construction. The North Rockland High School is the last building that does not yet have the double door entry. They were talking about maybe making it wait to put it in one of the other plans that we were going to have for next year. The board asked that it be done this summer. So that will be in place by the start of the school year. But there is a safety. I know when I come to this high school to pick my daughter up, before I'm even allowed in, I have to stop and announce who I am and what I'm here for. So that there is safety. Can we do more? Do we need to do more? I'm not going to argue that. But there is a safety plan in place.
When I worked for DSS, and I believe it's still in existence today, I worked in a secure building. There were 2 men that were always in the building because we were vulnerable. How much more vulnerable are our children? I don't think they can wait until September. I don't think they should have to wait until September.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
First of all, I appreciate everyone that came up, and we value everything you say. And whether it looks like we don't agree or not, it's good. On the point that you made, I forgot your name, I'm sorry, about the kids, Maureen, the kids don't say anything. I can justify that. If I was in 6th grade, I'd be afraid to say that so-and-so has a gun in his backpack. However, we have looked into that. The kids have their phones glued to their hands, and a simple app that they can tap on and then report it through the app. It's not in person. Maybe they're comfortable that way. So there are ideas that are coming up, and thank you for that point. And really, all the other points as well. Now I guess we have a speaker.
Hello, my name is Ibra Piroshka Patas. I'm in 6th grade, and I live in Stony Point. And I surprisingly understood most of the budget things, and I just want to encourage the board to do something about it so that this problem will be solved.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I didn't come here tonight to speak, but after Jessica, Carrie, and I have 2 children in high school and I'm in Stony Point. All I keep hearing is this plan to put in more buzzers in the school. My question is, well, from what I observe, is you open the door, you look, the lady buzzes you in, and she says, "How can I help you?" So I don't see how that's secure. You might as well have all the doors open, to be honest with you, because all you're doing is funneling everyone in one door. You're letting them in. I have 2 children that I put on the bus that I want to get off the bus. Okay? You have a woman, probably 40 years old. How is she going to stop an active shooter, is my question. Who is going to stop an active shooter? Who? What plan? What door locked is going to stop an active shooter? I don't see any security, armed security in any of the schools. It's not a matter of if, it's when. It's going to happen. You talk about achieving and sports and football and we're the best and rah, rah, rah. But we're at the standard level of the state when it comes to safety, and we're proud of that. We're proud of being standard now when it comes to the kids' safety. I don't understand it. So you show a license. I actually witnessed, in Stony Point Elementary, I witnessed, the girl looked, the guy had on like a worker vest, and he had a bin. And he buzzed, he walked in with his bin, a closed bin, this big. Walked in, and she said, "Can I help you?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm here for signing something." She said, "Okay, sign in," and off he went. Nobody checked the bin. Nobody checked him. Nobody checked his ID. You want to put another buzzer in? What is a buzzer going to do? It does nothing. I don't understand this. I don't understand it. It's when. When is it going to happen? That's when it's going to happen. And you know what? If you don't have the money for the security, wait till the lawsuits come in. I mean, standards? We're at the minimum standards in New York State. Yeah, everyone clap for that. And forget it.
Hi. First, I just want to, remind everyone that we're one community. I'm sorry. Deirdre O'Connor from Stony Point. And I'm so happy to be part of this community because we truly are one amazing community. And, when we communicate, hopefully we can communicate that reminds us that we're all here for the kids and for the community. And I want to thank the board because I also know that you volunteer and your time and, it's not a paid job and you deal with serious issues every day, collaborating with the superintendent and the staff. So I know you all want all of our kids to be safe. So that's the first thing. And I also wanted to talk about full-day kindergarten. And I lobbied for full-day kindergarten with these ladies as well. And again, my children are past full-day kindergarten, but equity and equality are obviously topics for the district. And I know wealth value of the district was talked about. So Also, we are the only district in Rockland County that doesn't have full-day kindergarten, so if we do increase full-day kindergarten, actually the wealth of our district and the value of our district will increase significantly, and the house values will increase. Also, I just wanted to talk about school safety, and I know we talked about how committees. And so my background is as a school administrator, and I've led school safety committees inclusive of parents, administrators, teachers, CSEA, board, and I invited parents to be part of the committees. And I had some parents that were FBI agents, and it was just a wealth of information to be part of that committee. And I believe North Rockland is full of security and parents with a background. So if you have an opportunity to think about having a parent that might bring some expertise in. Also, I didn't know from them, they shared that the FBI is so willing and able to come into schools and help schools. So that's just another area. And when we talk about incident command, each principal is the incident command person within their own school district, and the superintendent obviously being the head. But then when the police department comes in, the police department's in charge. And principals are no longer in charge, and superintendent neither. The police department is, and everyone works in collaboration together. So those are just some of the suggestions that I wanted to. I think the community is dying to have some more input, and I have a feeling you probably have lots of knowledgeable people that possibly could be part of those committees. And I don't envy your job between salaries and safety and full-day kindergarten. It's not easy, so thank you.
New York. I'm actually a high school teacher in one of the neighboring schools here. And just recently we had to give back one of the days for the snow days. And it was quite interesting because right before that we had to download an app, both on our cell phones as well as our tablets to be able, and it was share safety 911 or 911 share, which is, I'm not sure the logistics, if it costs money or what it is, but the person who created this app is a security person who deals with a lot of this, who has worked in NYPD, who has worked in that type of security. And I know when an intruder comes in, I don't know personally, but if an intruder comes in, it's not as easy as we practice every day. Hit the buzzer, say whatever code you're going to say, because there's so many things that are going on in our minds, especially for kids. For me, it's my number one priority. So share 911 if you guys want to look into it, as well as we had a group of, it was the sheriff as well as 6 other members of the security task force who trained us in first aid, showed us life and death, because they were adamant in saying, it'll take us a few minutes to get here. So if it's something that they showed us how to turn up, things like that, give us these tactics that would actually save a life. So maybe having something like that as well, just giving the teachers. And we also went through a real drill where, we had to hide. They were knocking and really persistent in coming in. You heard shots, right? Obviously not real shots, but it does create this anxiety and this fear. Although it's fake, you can't even imagine what these kids or other adults were feeling at that moment. And I think another important part is really talking to our youth about it. I know, unfortunately, we have to talk to kindergartners and things like that, and it's sad that at this time we have to. I mean, I have Anna Hacker and everyone else in this district has done an amazing job. I have 4 kids here. My son had just, signed up for the Air Force. He's doing an amazing job. So you do, and congratulations on Freestone being recognized. I mean, you can't go without saying you guys do an amazing job. Just, security, it creates anxiety, and we have every right to feel that way with everything unfortunate that's going on. I mean, I go to school every day, and it's not something, I walk in, and even just as teachers, recognize every kid. It doesn't matter. I always come in super excited to be there. Good morning, and who's this baby? She's okay. But it's just, I want to make sure that every child feels that someone is seeing them, and I think that is an important component. I don't know if you have mentors here. I don't know if that's something that you guys do, but maybe incorporating that. I'm a mentor, and you'd be surprised when you learn about students who have just kind of guided through, and nobody's ready for them. So I commend you on everything you do. It was just a suggestion. Have a good evening.
Let's move on to the school district budget. Need motion actually to table the adoption of the budget. We're still waiting to hear from Albany about some wording that we need in the legislation to get the full coverage as needed. If we go forward with it the way that it is, there is a potential of losing $3.4 million in aid. So it is very vital that we get this language put into the legislation. We heard that it's, it needs to take place by Thursday. So it's actually very important that it happens by Thursday because that's the final day that we would need to adopt the budget. And so we will be having a special meeting on Thursday at 7 p.m. at central office to adopt the budget. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Next we have the BOCES budget and BOCES trustees. Would you like to No, we have the BOCES budget.
Resolved that the Board of Education of the Hatch Stony Point Central School District hereby cast its vote for Thomas Moore. Thomas, appreciate Prisco, thank you. Rosemary Bichisella for the positions of trustee, wherein Thomas Moore is to succeed Edward Dingman on the Rockland County Board of Cooperative Educational Services. Term of office to be July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2021. Thomas DePrisco is to succeed himself on the Rockland County Board. The term of July 1, 2018 to June 30th, 2021. And Rosemary Bichisella is to succeed herself at the Rockland County Board of Cooperative Services. For a term of office to be July 1 to 2018 through June 30th, 2021.
Can I get a second on that? Mr. LaFever, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. And then we have approval of the BOCES administrative budget. No, if it's necessary. Mrs. Liberty? Second by Mr. Kraus. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We have retirements. So I know, Mr. Mascali, you're ready for Dawn Dunn?
Absolutely. All right.
Not yet, we have to, we can deny you. Okay.
I just want to know, was that because I was reading it? Or? Okay, just kidding. Whereas Ms. Dawn Dunn has served the North Rockland Central School District with dedication for a total of 22 years, and whereas she submitted a resignation for retirement purposes, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education, on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby accepts with deep regret the resignation of Dawn Dunn, teaching assistant, June 30th, 2018. And be further resolved that the Board of Education wishes Ms. Dunn and her family much happiness in the future.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We wish you much happiness in your retirement. Mr. Krause, if you could read Meredith Stevens. I'm going to read Steve Miller.
Meredith Stevens, whereas Meredith Stevens has served in North Rockland Central School District with dedication for a total of 21 years, and whereas she has submitted her resignation for retirement purposes, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby accepts with deep regret the resignation of Meredith Stevens, special subject music teacher, effective February 14, 2018. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education wishes Ms. Stevens and her family much happiness in the future.
Second by the whole board. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. I would like to, I'm so excited. I wish to, the board would like to wish Ms. Stevens much health and happiness in her retirement. I'm going to read Mr. Stephen Miller. Whereas Mr. Stephen Miller has served the North Rockland Central School District with dedication for a total of 29 years, and whereas he has submitted his resignation for retirement purposes, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby accepts with deep regret the resignation of Stephen Miller, special subject music teacher, effective July 1st, 2018. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education wishes Mr. Miller and his family much happiness in the future. Second by the whole board. Any discussion? Yes. I would like to say that Mr. Miller, as well as many of the teachers in our district, but he played a very special part in my family. All 4 of my children are musicians, and Mr. Miller touched their lives. Ricky, who had a phenomenal relationship with Mr. Miller, and Andrew, who definitely challenged Mr. Miller on many occasions. But they have an everlasting impact on their lives. My oldest son, who he took under his wing and made sure that he was in band when he first came to public school in 6th grade, and was such an inspiration to him. And to this day, at almost 29 years old, he's still involved in music. It is actually his chosen career. And I really do have to say that I believe that that is because of Mr. Miller and many of the other teachers. So he holds a very special place in the Romano family. Anyway, second by the whole board. Yes, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. And we wish Mr. Miller and his family very much health and happiness in his retirement. Okay, retirement non-instruction. Mrs. Lee.
Joanne Carlo, teacher aide. Whereas Ms. Joanne Carlo has served the North Rockland Central School District with dedication for a total of 14 years and 10 months. And whereas she has submitted her resignation for retirement purposes, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby accepts with deep regret the resignation of Joanne Carlo, teacher aide, effective June 30th, 2018. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education wishes Ms. Carlo and her family much happiness in the future.
Second by the whole board. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Harry, would you like to read Mr. LaFever? Oh, I'm sorry. Is Ms. Carlo here? Well, we would like to wish her very much health and happiness in her retirement. Mr. LaFever, if you could read National Volunteer Week.
Through countless acts of kindness, generosity, and service, Americans recognize that we are all bound together, that we move this country forward by giving of ourselves to others and caring for those around us. Every day, Americans carry forward the tradition of service embedded in our character as a people. And as we celebrate National Volunteer Week, we embrace our shared responsibility to one another and recommit to the task of building a more perfect community. By performing acts of service, we can shape the nation. We can shape a nation big enough and bold enough to accommodate the hopes of all of our people. Across our country, volunteers open doors of opportunity, pave avenues of success, fortify their communities, and lay the foundation for tomorrow's growth and prosperity. They're often equipped with few resources and gain little recognition. Yet, because of their service, our country is a better and a stronger force for good. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the North Rockland Central School District, along with Ileana Eckert, Superintendent of Schools, do hereby proclaim April 22nd through April 28th, 2018 as National Volunteer Week. We call upon all residents to observe this week by volunteering in our community and pledging to make service a part of their daily lives.
Second by the board. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Mr. Fernandez?
I got the lengthy one. This was written by a wordsmith. Whereas, but it's a pleasure to. Whereas students need a place to explore challenging ideas. School librarians are brain builders. School librarians give learners unique opportunities for self-directed inquiry, empowering curiosity and exploration with the articulated curriculum and independently. Incorporation of personalized experiences leads to higher levels of engagement and gives learners opportunities to collaborate, invent, and innovate. Whereas school is a time to think, create, share, and grow, school librarians are connectors who engage learners in deep, meaningful learning that matters to them. The connectivity promoted by school librarians supports a culture of equity, inclusion, opportunity, achievement for all learners. School librarians build learner competencies for critical thinking and empathy through teaching learners to curate information, create knowledge from diverse perspectives. Whereas collaboration empowers teachers, school librarians optimize the capacity of teachers. School librarians collaborate and co-teach with educators to develop dynamic learning opportunities for learners. School librarians cultivate community and global networks, developing partnerships that inspire, transform, and support innovation in our local school settings. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the North Rockland Central School District, along with Ileana Eckert, Superintendent of Schools, proclaim National Library Week, April 8th through the 14th, 2018. We encourage all residents to visit the library this week to take advantage of the wonderful library resources available at your library.
Second by the board? Yes. Second by the board? Yes. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you very much, Lord Libraries. Okay, the consent agenda. Use of the consent agenda permits the Board of Education to make more effective use of time by adopting a single motion to cover those relatively routine matters which are included. Any member of the board who wishes to discuss individually a particular piece of business on the consent agenda may so indicate, and that item will be transferred to the regular agenda for consideration and a separate vote, thus preserving the right of all board members to be heard on any issue. Can I have a motion? Mr. Fernandez, second by Mr. LaFever. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. I'll have a motion to close the meeting. Oh, I'm sorry. There are some people that have been waiting patiently, and we're very grateful that you stayed. So if you have been appointed this evening, if you could please stand up and introduce yourself and tell us where you'll be.
Hi, I'm Lauren Contact. Could be appointed to assistant principal at North Rockland High School. I'd like to thank the board and Mrs. Eckert. I grew up in North Rockland. I graduated high school from North Rockland and started my career here 13 years ago. And I'm extremely excited to start my new role here as well. So thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. I'm Andrew Schauer. I'm going to join the Technology Education Department this coming fall, and I look forward to meeting and working with all of you.
Oh, congratulations. Mr. Fieber is going to be sitting here by himself. Mrs. Zuckerby, second by Mr. Fernandez. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We'll meet on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. at the Central. We won't. I didn't say that. We need to support. It's really fast. Because we need to.
On meeting? That was, I was a little nervous about doing that though.